Hey YouTube, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. There's a new brand, Batrazzi, for microcrawler accessories. Maybe you've already heard of it or seen it in the RC videos. And I received a set of super cool tires, Mud Pro X, stamped steel beadlock wheels, which I really like. I do have the ones from Injora and those from RC4 wheel drive in all colors, and I really love stamped steel beadlock wheels. They are called Steelies, and a set of oil-filled shocks for the FCX24, but of course those work for all the 1 to 24th to 1 to 18th trucks, and the Steelies even work for the MN111, the new Defender. And if you want to only know what I think about this stuff, and if I think if it's okay or not, I really love the stamped steel beadlock wheels, which do come with heavy ring, brass ring inside, and I really love the tires and the shocks too. They are nearly the same shocks as of the Hobby Plus upgrade shocks for the Hobby Plus CR18 piece. And if that's what you want to know, super nice wheels or rims, super sticky nice tires, cool shocks, and then that's it. If you want to hear me talking much more and compare those, then stay. If not, thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. I'll be back. And for those who are still here, those are the Steelies. Those are my favorites of those sets. All the Batrazzi stuff comes nicely packed in such bags with all the accessories. And what they also sent me, keychain with a bottle opener and a small ruler. Super nice. I guess quite a lot got those parts from RC. During the last live stream they gave away a lot and want to know what we think about those parts. I like them. I love them because I love stamped steel stamped steel beadlock rims. I think all the beadlock rims we have do not look that scale. The stamped steelies are quite rare, and that's why I do have the ones from RC4 wheel drive. You can get them in black and silver and in white. My white ones are on my Defender. And I do have several sets from Injora, white ones, which I will mount on my MN111 Defender with 0 offsets, and golden ones with 3.78 millimeter negative offset. Offset negative means that the tire or the rim is farther from the center. Positive would be nearer. I really love all those Steelies, but as most of you know, they are not that easy to mount. Mainly the RC4 wheel drive ones. You need longer screws to make this easier, but also the Injora ones. They do come with longer screws for starting mounting the rims. And the Batrazzi ones are the very first ones where I did not need any longer screws. They are 4 parts. Here the hex inside, inner, outer side, and of course a brass inner ring. So those are heavy rims or heavy wheels, and they do come with 1.6 millimeter screws. You need a 1.5 millimeter hex driver to mount those, and they were super easy to mount. I did not use any longer screws. And what I like most in those, and what will not be important for most of you, but for me, those do come with 1.6 millimeter screws, where you need a 1.5 millimeter hex driver to mount those. As the RC4 wheel drive do come, those are RC4 wheel drive ones, and you see I do have scale hex screws here. The Injora stamped steel beadlock wheels do come with 1.4 millimeter screws. You need a 1.3 millimeter hex driver for those. As in the SCX24, those screws are used mostly, but you cannot buy scale hex screws for those to mount them, because there are no 1.4mm scale hex screws. Yes, Injora does sell some now. I have a lot of those tiny 1.4mm ones, but they are only 3mm in length, and that's for those kind of beadlock rims. And here you can mount the 1.3mm Injora hex scale screws, but those are mounted, those types of rims are mounted with larger screws from the inside, and the Injora stamped steel beadlock rims are mounted with 6 screws from outside, and therefore those 3mm hex screws are not long enough, and so far there are no longer ones available. So those are the Batrazzi rims with scale hex screws. I love this stuff. This is the stock stuff, 1.6mm screws for 1.5mm hex driver, and for those you need 1.5mm, I guess, nut drivers, this kind of stuff. And I mounted silver ones only to check which one I like more, and black ones, and probably I will take the black ones. For me personally, that's a good point, an important point for those rims. And of course the heavy beadlock ring, the inner ring out of brass, because all the others do not come with brass rings. You can buy those for Injora wheels, and I have those. So you have to pay, they are cheap, $9 extra, but the Injoras are $20 plus $9, and those new Batrazzi Steelies are only $22.90, including the heavy ring. So that's the Batrazzi ring, and it looks and feels much heavier, also a little bit larger, and that's the Injora ring. They are not labeled. Let's compare the weight. The Batrazzi are much heavier in my opinion, but let's take a scale. So that's the Injora inner ring brass, 12.8 grams roughly, and the Batrazzi inner ring 20.6 grams, so much heavier. So if you like heavier wheels, what most of us do, because it improves performance, then those Batrazzis are much nicer and much heavier, and they do come with a set, so you don't have to buy them extra. Super cool. Heavy Steelies out of the box for $22.90. And because I want to show you that it's really true, it's super easy to mount those without any longer screws, I will mount now the last tire. Those are the super nice Mud Pro X for $7, $6.99 for 2. They are sold in a set of 2. Also cool if you want a spare tire, or for a 6x6 you don't have to buy a set of 4. And I will mount this one in front of camera, but of course I will speed the video up. So here's what we need. The tires, they do come with nice foams inside, the inner ring and the 3 parts of the rim, and 6 screws. And let's do it in front of camera. I'm quite sure something will go wrong now. Let's speed the video up. So guess that's it. Super easy mount for a stamped steel beadlock rim. And what I forgot to tell you, they do have a little bit different type of spokes here than the RC4-wheel drive and the Injora ones, and that's why the screws are mounted symmetrically to the openings here, so you don't have to check to get the screw on the perfect position. As you can see here in the RC4-wheel drive ones, here the screw is in the center, here it's on this spoke, here it's on the right side of the spoke, so you always have to find the right place. Sometimes you miss it and you have to start up again. And also in the Injora ones, you see this is not absolutely the same. You see this screw is a little bit left, a little bit more, and this is in the center of the opening, and those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spokes, and the RC4-wheel drive ones are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spokes, and the new Batrazzi ones are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spokes. So 12 spokes, 6 screws. You can mount the upper and lower part of the rim as you want. The screw will always fit. Super, super nice. And out of the 3 types I have, and I guess those are all types available of stamped steel beadlock rims, actually for 1-inch rims for microcrawlers. There are also smaller ones from RC4-wheel drive, but they are for the 1 to 24th RC4-wheel drive only. I made some videos about those, but for the 1 to 18th to 1 to 24th Injora, RC4-wheel drive, and Batrazzi, the new ones, and mounting, no question, the Batrazzi, perfect. Much easier than the RC4-wheel drive ones, and also easier than the Injora ones. You don't need any extra screws, and they do come with a very, very heavy beadlock ring. Super, super cool. And now let's check those super nice Mud Pro X tires. They have 60mm in diameter and 23.5mm width, so they are really aggressive tires. Those are super old Injora tires I will only use because of the scale look for my MN111, but the material is really, really sticky. So those are Baja Claws. RC4-wheel drive, no, those Batrazzi are way, way stickier. Those are RC4-wheel drive. Wow. Falcon Wild Peak, I guess. Batrazzi, also way stickier. And those are the, no, those are the Falcon and those are the Wrangler or whatever. I do have so many tires, I don't know anymore. Those are the comp pins from Injora. I bought recently on Prime Day, super cheap. The Batrazzi may be similar, and those are the Injora whatever. Those all-terrain Mud Pros look more aggressive than the Batrazzi, but the Batrazzi are really stickier. So those are super sticky tires, a super sticky compound, and with a super aggressive thread pattern. The Batrazzi Steelies beadlock rims do have a more than 3mm bore, and that's nice. That's why they are sold as for the FCX24 large bore 3mm axle, and here a large room for the portal axles, but they will also fit to the SCX24s or to the 1 to 18th RC4-wheel drive ones with much smaller axle shafts, or to those super cool 1 to 18th Rock Hobby and FMS trucks which do have 2.5 millimeter bores. So check this awesome Mogrich from Batrazzi, the Mogrich mod, and fits perfectly for those you need a now I have it. The Mogrich with the Batrazzi stamped steel beadlock rims, super nice in my opinion, and also the tires look quite okay on this awesome truck. Now with its stock wheels again. Awesome truck. The Batrazzi mods, I love those. And they will also, of course, fit to an SCX24. Here's a stock SCX24, 4mm. Come on. Yes, stock SCX, mainly stock SCX24, a little bit too large tires, 60mm. Fits, but this was to be expected. Question is, trucks with portal axles, and here we have a CR18P, that's even a Evo 1, Rockwan, Trail Hunter and Harvest. Let's check if it fits the portals of the CR18Ps. Yes, no problem at all. Was to be expected because of the fits to FCX24. Is there any touching? No, but not a lot of room. You want to see it too? Hope you can see it on camera, but it fits the CR18Ps too. And what was really difficult, the new awesome MN111, the Defender 1 to 18th with metal body. It does come with very strange wheels and 9mm hex, and I assume this will also fit here. Here you need also, I guess, a 5.5mm nut driver. And you cannot use the 9mm hex they do come with. I showed this in this video, in the first or second video. You will have to use an FCX24 nut with 7mm, and you will have to adapt the pins. The FCX24 pins are a little bit too wide, so you and the MN111 with 1.3mm are a little bit too long for the hex of the of the FCX24, so you will have to use FCX24 nut and will have to adapt a 1.3mm pin to use a little bit of steel, 1.3mm, and make a shorter pin. And then this is now without pin. The awesome Batrazzi stamped steel beadlocks will fit, and they do fit, even if the truck also does have portals. But I will mount those stamped steels from Injora the white ones. They look awesome. Those are old Injora, one of the first Injora tires. They are not that good. So even on the MN111, the Batrazzi Steelies will fit. But they are sold, the Batrazzi rims, for the FCX24. And so let's mount them on an FCX24 and check how they do here. So here they are, the Batrazzi Mat Pro X on the FCX24 on Batrazzi Steelies. Perfect fit, don't you think so? And they seem to be super sticky. Didn't do any drive tests so far. Maybe I should do a drive test with my Hill of Pebble-stones. They seem to be awesome. Of course, compared to the stock tires, but even compared to the Injora mud, all Injoras are mud terrains. I forgot the names. Only the compines are about the same compound. They look awesome. Yeah, and finally, there are also Batrazzi oil shocks. And those, full metal. Also, the rod ends seem to be metal, to remind me on something. They look super similar to, where do I have it? Here, to the Hobby Plus oil-filled shocks for the CR18Ps. They do only not have this reservoir, this fake spare oil reservoir, but everything else seems to be exactly the same. Check those out. They seem to be the same shocks as the Hobby Plus shocks. I do have the Hobby Plus shocks in my Rock Van, and I found a further package. Still didn't mount them on the Trail Hunter, and I guess also the Harvest. No, there's a set on the Harvest already, so I don't even know where I mounted this stuff. I really like those Hobby Plus oil-filled shocks. Those are cheapos from Banggood for the FCX24. To me also, those do not feel bad and perform well, but those are not meant to be oil-filled. Some people complain about those. I don't know, I bought several different sets. I even don't know what they are exactly. You get all the accessories with the Batrazzi shocks. So for mounting the shocks and the lower links, and for a distance for the upper mount position, and they do already come with a little bit of oil inside, and you see the O-ring here, and a little bit of oil seems to be inside. And now I will compare those to the Hobby Plus shocks. And in my opinion, those are exactly the same shocks. Since I really like the Hobby Plus shocks, the oil-filled shocks, I think those are the best ones you can get for the micros. Only the Charisma shocks are of similar quality, but in performance, but they are much larger and do have different openings, much more difficult to mount. So those Batrazzi seem, check it here, I'm full of oil, seem to be the same shocks, and that means they are awesome. They have the B You can buy them in two colors, in red and blue only. That's what I do not really like. I really prefer those shocks in either black, silver or titan metallic, but not only in red or blue, because the neutral black and gray stuff fits to every truck, or silver, and the blue shocks do not really fit, for example, to my FCX24. However, those shocks they feel exactly the same, as awesome as the Hobby Plus shocks, which I did already show you. They do come with a further set of springs, which are harder, and that's also exactly the same, check it out, as in the Hobby Plus CR18P shocks. They also do come with a further set of harder silver springs, and everything else seems to be perfect. Metal, really nicely moving. So I for sure will use those, but didn't test them so far, and I like them. Price is not super cheap, but if those are good quality shocks, and the Hobby Plus ones they are worth the price. But Batrazzi, please make a different color. Make them in black or in silver. So super cool new stuff at Fair RC from Batrazzi. Never heard of this company before, and it seems to be quite new, but with those parts they will for sure have success, and we will see more of their stuff in future. Maybe let's make a little drive test the Mud Pro X tires on my FCX24 on my Hill of Pebblestones, which is very slippery, and the Hill of Branches. So short drive test, and for those who want to stop now, thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you in the next video. I'll be back. So now the FCX24 on the Batrazzi Mud Pro X tires on the Hill of Branches. No problem on the flat side. Now on the steep side of the Hill of Branches. Wow, what's that? 10 out of 10 in second gear. And now let's go to first gear. Come on. No problem either. So what a performance. Absolutely awesome performance on the Hill of Branches. I would say that's a 10 out of 10, or at least a 9 out of 10 in my MCCT. And now the FCX24 with the new Batrazzi Mud Pro X on the Hill of Pebblestones. Flat side. No problem at all. And now to the difficult steep side of the Hill of Pebblestones. Wow, first gear. What a performance! Wow, awesome! This means in second gear it's probably even much easier. So let's switch to second gear. Okay, my fault. Second gear, second try. Wow, what a performance of those tires. Unbelievable. Awesome. Awesome. Batrazzi Mud Terrain X. Come on, second gear. Oh, I don't want to fall. Come on, do it. My fault. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you in the next video. I'll be back.